Water. It's essential for life. Early humans knew this. They settled near rivers and lakes. These water sources provided drinking water. They also attracted animals for hunting and gathering. Water meant survival. Imagine the world thousands of years ago. People gathered near rivers. The Nile in Egypt was one such river. The Tigris and Euphrates in Mesopotamia were others. These rivers provided fertile land. This allowed for agriculture. Agriculture led to food surpluses. This meant people could specialize in other jobs. Some became artisans, others became merchants. This specialization led to the growth of cities, and thus civilizations were born. The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. Its annual floods brought fertile silt. This silt nourished the soil. It allowed farmers to grow crops like wheat and barley. The Nile also served as a highway. Boats transported goods and people. This facilitated trade and communication. Similarly, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in Mesopotamia supported the rise of powerful city-states. These included Sumer, Babylon, and Assyria. The rivers provided water for irrigation. They also connected these city-states. This led to cultural exchange and the sharing of knowledge. In the Indian subcontinent, the Indus River Valley civilization thrived. This civilization was known for its urban planning and impressive drainage systems. The Indus River, like others, provided the foundation for this civilization to flourish. Seas and oceans played a crucial role in connecting different parts of the world. They were the highways of ancient times. Trading ships sailed across vast distances. They carried goods, ideas, and cultures. The Mediterranean Sea was a hub of activity. It connected civilizations like the Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians. Trade flourished across its waters. Goods like olive oil, wine, and pottery were exchanged. Along with these goods, ideas and knowledge spread. The Silk Road, though a land route, was also connected to sea routes. Goods from China traveled west. They reached Europe through a network of land and sea trade. This exchange of goods and ideas had a profound impact on the world. Today, many of the world's largest cities are located near water. Think of New York City on the Atlantic Ocean, or Shanghai at the mouth of the Yangtze River. Water continues to be a vital resource. It's essential for transportation, trade, and even tourism. Cities like Singapore and Hong Kong are major shipping hubs. Their economies thrive on their access to water. Water provides a means of transportation. It also offers opportunities for trade and commerce. As our planet faces challenges like climate change, the importance of water becomes even more apparent. Managing water resources sustainably is crucial. This ensures that future generations can thrive, just as civilizations have throughout history. Water truly is the lifeblood of our planet.
Rivers were particularly instrumental in fostering early civilizations. For example, Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization, flourished in the Fertile Crescent formed by the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. These waterways enabled irrigation, ensuring food surpluses that supported population growth and urban development. Similarly, ancient Egypt depended on the Nile River, whose predictable flooding deposited nutrient-rich silt, making agriculture highly productive. The Nile also served as a vital transportation route, uniting the region and facilitating trade. The Indus Valley Civilization, supported by the Indus River, achieved remarkable urban planning and agricultural systems, demonstrating how rivers enabled advanced societal structures. Deserts, while often perceived as barriers, also played a protective and adaptive role in shaping civilizations. The vast Sahara Desert, for instance, acted as a natural barrier for ancient Egypt, shielding it from invasions and preserving its distinct cultural identity. Conversely, the Gobi Desert protected early Chinese civilizations from nomadic incursions, while also emphasizing the importance of trade routes like the Silk Road to connect with distant cultures. In Mesopotamia, the surrounding Syrian desert offered partial protection but also spurred innovations in trade and defense strategies to manage external threats. Trade routes served as lifelines for interaction and growth. The Silk Road, which linked China to the Mediterranean, facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies, such as silk and paper, thereby enhancing cultural and economic development. Mediterranean civilizations, including Greece, Rome, and Phoenicia, thrived due to their access to sea routes, which promoted trade and cultural exchange, fueling advancements in governance, art, and science. Similarly, the Arabian Peninsula's caravan routes connected cities like Mecca to broader trade networks, playing a pivotal role in the region's economic prosperity and the later spread of Islam.
Now, we will move on to the next point. Geographical location also greatly influences population formation because people will look for areas that can help them survive for a long period of time. When people are looking for land to become their settlement, they will look into a lot of things. There are many factors that they will look into before make the area as their settlement. This is very important to ensure their people can live there for a long time without any worries. It is also because these things are very important for them to become a developed and prosperous society and develop into a successful civilization. The first thing they will look at before making the area their settlement is the fertility of the land. Fertile land is very important for a society. Fertile land is a key driver of civilization development, particularly because it supports sustainable agriculture. Fertility refers to the richness of the soil, which allows crops to grow more efficiently. When civilizations have access to fertile lands, they can produce surplus food that can adequately support the need of their society. Then, they do not have to think about their source of food anymore because they already has the agriculture sector that will contribute a lot to it, thanks to their fertile lands. We can see this in the Mesopotamia civilization, where they had fertile land that made it easy for them to carry out agricultural activities, thanks to the Tigris and Euphrates rivers that flooded annually, depositing fertile silt that allowed the growth of crops like wheat and barley. This surplus food allowed people to settle in one place, leading to urbanization and the rise of complex social structures. This thing not only contributes in terms of food to them, but also can contribute in terms of economy that makes them succeed in developing into a successful civilization. Next, people will also look for an area that have an easy access to water resources such as rivers, lake or valley to be made as their settlement. Water is essential for a lot of things such as for drinking, agriculture, transportation and so on. Access to water is also critical to maintain the health of their populations and support the growth of cities. Not only that, water is also a means for sanitation and hygiene. Civilizations that built near water resources can take a bath or clean themselves easily to keep themselves clean and prevent any disease. So, it will be a sensible thing to find an area that have an easy access to water resources to build their settlement there. As we see in this map of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia civilizations, these two civilizations have something in common, which is that they are close to water sources. The ancient Egypt civilization was near the Nile River, while the Mesopotamia civilization was between the Euphrates River and the Tigris River. Rivers and other bodies of water are critical for irrigation, which ensures that crops can be grown even in regions with less rainfalls. The combination of fertile land and reliable water sources supports large-scale agriculture, which is a key factor in the development of civilizations. Civilizations that built near water also benefited in terms of trade and transportation. Waterways, such as rivers and seas, can be used for transportation and trade. Civilizations located near navigable coasts or rivers such as Egypt and Mesopotamia benefited from easier access to internal and external trade routes, fostering economic and cultural exchange. This trade also contributed to the growth of cities and settlements.
The image is a rich and detailed representation of the vital role geography and natural resources played in the development of ancient economic systems. At its core, it showcases the vast network of trade routes that connected regions and civilizations, with a special focus on the iconic Silk Road. This ancient trade route stretched across Europe and Asia, serving as a lifeline for cultural exchanges, commerce, and the movement of goods like silk, spices, and precious metals. The map also includes maritime routes through the Indian Ocean, emphasizing the importance of sea-based trade in connecting distant regions and fostering economic growth. Geographical features such as towering mountain ranges, expansive rivers, and winding coastlines are prominently illustrated to highlight how natural landscapes shape the accessibility and efficiency of these routes. These physical barriers and pathways were critical in determining the direction and success of trade networks. For example, the image shows how mountain passes and river valleys acted as natural corridors for caravans and traders. In addition to trade routes, the image integrates the theme of natural resources, showcasing the abundance and distribution of essential materials like iron ore, timber, and arable land. These resources were not only vital for sustaining local populations but also fueled technological advancements and industrial growth. A particular emphasis is placed on China's ancient industrial regions, where the early availability of iron ore laid the foundation for metallurgical innovation and economic expansion. The map also illustrates how forests provided timber for construction and shipbuilding, while fertile lands supported agriculture, ensuring food security and trade surplus.